Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Jeffy and this is my best friend Android the Chihuahua. Today we're going to be doing a Christmas tree themed soap. I'm really excited for this. We're going to be trying a new technique where we mix a little bit of mica powder with some oil and drizzle it on the top. I personally have not done this yet, but I've seen some bars done with this and they turn out so beautiful. I cannot wait to see our finished result. Before we get into the video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more videos. My kitty just slid in here. I have some cats that I stole from the great outdoors and they're acclimating okay, but that one normally hides from me and she's having such an exciting morning she just strolled up through the hallway and slid her little fluffy buns into the dining room. To prep our colors, I have 3 of these little plastic cups laid out. The first color we'll be using is this Gold Bust by Nurture Soaps. It's super pretty. I use it to make the little stars on our embeds, so it should be a really nice complement to our trees. The next color I'm going to prepare is this Kelly Green Mica, and then we're also going to be preparing a little bit of this Winter White Mica from Nurture Soaps. I would say that we're going to be using about 2/3 of our batter with this white and about 1/3 with the green, so of course we'll measure out our mica powders accordingly. This gold mica powder is going to end up being a little bit of an accent color and we're going to drizzle it on the top at the end, so this one's really not going to end up with much oil at all. Once we have the amount of mica powder that we want in these little cups, I'm just going to add a little bit of our oil mixture so we can get our colors really evenly dispersed. Our gold sparkle color looks so cool. We're just going to be setting this to the side until we're done making the rest of our soap. This is actually not going to go into our soap batter at all. It's going to go on top, and it's really cool how this looks when it sinks into the soap. All right, now that all of our colors are prepped, I'm going to be mixing our lye water with our oil. The scent we're going to be using for this project is Anarchy by Nurture Soaps. It's a really cool scent. I can't really describe it, but it's perfect for guys, and I have a really hard time finding soap scents that are really good for men, so I'm really glad I ran across this one. Once our batter starts to get just a little bit thick, I'm going to go ahead and add in this Anarchy fragrance oil. The mold I'm going to be using today is a 5-pound slab mold from Nurture Soap. This holds about 50 ounces, but I made a little bit over half of that. That way we can get a good sized bar. Once I'm confident that my batter is completely combined, I'm going to pour quite a bit of it into our green cup. I'm going to try and get this cup as full as I can. Once I've poured out what I need to into my green cup, I'm going to dump all of our white color into my big pot and give it a nice stir. All right, I'm going to dump about half of our white in just to give us a nice little base. All right, now that I have a nice white soap base, I'm going to take what is left of our white batter and I'm going to pour our green batter down the side of this bowl. All right, and I meant to get this green a little bit closer to our spout, so I'm just going to take my fork and kind of push it that way. That way we do get a bit of a mix. I'm just going to slowly pour this into our mold and see where it gets us. All right, this looks pretty good. I wish we had a little bit more green at the top. That is definitely not bad at all. We have a teeny bit left in our cup. I might just drizzle that on to see what happens in some of our more white areas. So this is what we got so far. Next, we're gonna add in our gold sparkle. So for this part, I'm just gonna be using a little pipette. And I really don't have a particular design for this. I think I'm just going to start in a corner and do a little bit of a zigzag across the top. All right, that is our masterful piece of artwork at this point in time. It's looking okay. I think it's gonna look better when we do a little bit of swirling with a toothpick. And you can do any kind of design you want for this. I'm pretty new to this, so I think I'm just gonna, swirl it around and see where we get with this. I'm feeling super satisfied with this design, and something we can look forward to is where we put just the gold sparkle mixed with oil. That's gonna sink in, and this is actually my first project where I'm doing that technique, so I'm excited to see how far down it goes, but I have definitely heard that we're gonna get a little bit of a height variance here. All right, so our last step is gonna be adding these beautiful little Christmas tree embeds. So the embeds that we have for the day are these little Christmas trees, and I got the mold at one of the craft stores. I can't remember exactly what craft store I got it from, but there's a bunch of Christmas tree molds at all craft stores this year. I know when I was looking for mine, I had a bunch to choose from online, so you really could stop just about anywhere to get one of these. I will say the mold that I had little stars on the top of it, and most of them broke off when I was pulling it out of the mold, so that's something to keep in mind when you're picking out your mold. I pre-made the embeds with cold processed soap a couple nights before, and then the morning that I made our soap, I mixed up some mica powder and some alcohol, and then I just used a paintbrush and painted the top of our embeds. I let them dry pretty much all day, and then by the evening when I made the soap, they were ready to go. With how big our mold is, I think we're gonna end up cutting 8 bars out of this. This is looking perfect. This is probably one of my best soaps to date. I was expecting it to turn out well, but that swirl is just so impressive. So now I'm just gonna let this dry for the next 48 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll cut this open. I took our bar out of the mold, and now I'm gonna be cutting this into 8 pieces. The inside of our bar got a really nice green swirl. These bars look absolutely amazing. I really love that gold color. It really pressed down into the soaps as it dried. This one is probably my favorite of all of them. It just looks absolutely perfect. It's got a little bit of everything going on, and those little gold rivers look so beautiful and sparkly. So our final bar looked really good. My favorite thing about it is all the swirls that we got up the side. It was a lot more colorful than I was expecting, and overall I'm just so happy with these. These have to be one of my best bars yet. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this video. If you enjoyed this, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more videos just like this.